All right, guys, here we are, Monday night, Novak News. I was excited for this, right? So it's Bidon and Billy today. We're talking about the election. Well, it has happened, but what change is it bringing to you and the buyers that are looking to buy? Stay tuned to find out more.
Bids, good evening.
Good evening. How are we doing?
I'm great. I'm so excited that there is no more election news.
Yes.
Oh, I'm so glad to see the signed posters come down.
Yeah. All the spam messages coming through. Vote this, vote that. I'm
Yeah.
like, stop.
Now I understand why real estate agents aren't liked all year round.
It's being on the other side is different, eh? On the receiving side.
But in all seriousness, to have an election out the way, not only does it mean we got a new party back on the job, we've also got pretty much a big yearly event out of the way, so the calendar's clean for the year ahead. And I guess we're going to talk about the changes, what happens next, but really that uncertainty, it's never good for the market. It does impact buyers' sentiment, and I think that's a big factor, particularly on our Northern Beaches market, where it's constant way up of supply and demand, but sentiment's another big driver.
Yeah, totally. Like in the last, I think 2 months, I've noticed a lot. I do it with residential and both commercial as well. So mostly in the commercial side, people are not that confident to take that final step. Like everyone's just done everything, did the due diligence, but not taking that final step because they were evident certain, okay, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
Like which party is going to win? What are the new rules that are going to apply? And should they make that move? Because it affects a lot.
Yeah.
Like it's like that one last moment decision you make and the rules change and things go sideways than you plan. So I think people had the reservation, people that are wanting to invest big or wanting to go big. But I think all the normal stock moves really quickly, right? Like your everyday stock. Yeah.
Days on market has been 3 to 4 weeks once properties are online with realestate.com and domain. Stock levels remain low. Again, that's tied back to the fact that people are a little uncertain with what happens next. But the election, has been on the forefront of everyone's, basically radar. There's a little over 700 properties on realestate.com, and we were working with the number one auctioneer on Northern Beaches Saturday afternoon, and he was saying, in and out of front doors, properties are selling, but there's still maybe an average of 1 to 3 buyers per auction, not sort of 5 and 6.
And that's some real stats for you from who does a lot of auction, and they know the market very well as well because they see it live and they experience it from throughout all ranges, from 1-bedroom units all the way to big luxury houses. So that's what we're talking about. So that's Northern Beaches. They currently got 683 properties.
Wow.
Which is very low. Normally you see it between 850 to 900. That's our good stock.
Yeah.
And we're all the way down to 683. So
there you go.
So we kind of see it happening.
So stock levels are down. That's a fact. I'm hearing from buyers that the stock that is on the market, some of it's been sitting for a little while and perceived to be slightly overpriced. So vendors are either meeting the market, making moves happen simultaneously on a new purchase, so it's all relative, or they're holding out for prices. And at this stage, buyers have been uncertain with an election.
Definitely.
Now that's over. What happens next?
Yes, what's the new change? So I think with Labour winning the election, which is pretty obvious now, they have, with anyone with the entry-level bid, I think they made it a lot easier.
Yeah.
So first point, I think they're removing the cap for the 5% deposit.
Well, the lower entry barriers to the market is a policy that both Labour and Liberal had in their campaign. But for Labour, they've expanded the 5% deposit scheme without lender's mortgage insurance.
Yeah, which is big.
And that's going to give buyers the capacity to get into the market quicker for less amount of money. And they're not going to have lender's mortgage insurance imposed on them. So that was traditionally the shortfall. Anything under 20%, the bank was basically having a premium on top, and it's known as LMI. So they're putting a helping hand out with that.
Definitely, which is also great. And also now I think they're launching out the buying a property through 2% deposit. Like the government does still own the 40% of the property, but you can buy a property from 2% deposit.
Yeah, so that's for key workers.
Yeah.
So whether it be public servants, some key workers, depending on your job class, yes, that falls under. But the shared equity scheme is a government incentive where they will partner with you and guarantee part of the loan, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's a good helping hand.
Yeah.
People who want to get into the property market and are overwhelmed with a big mortgage, that definitely helps.
Yeah. There's also going to be a little bit more choice. There's being $10 billion allocated to housing initiatives.
10 billion.
Yeah, first home buyers being given more affordable options, especially in outer and growth suburbs. So that again is going to ease housing pressure. Hopefully, there's been funds allocated there to take a little bit of heat out of the market, but also give people choice across different price points.
Yeah, that's very true. Very true. And I think now with the things coming on, they will definitely help in terms of stock as well. There'll be more approval because there have been some new rezoning happening. So in places like Northern Beaches, there's no more land to build. So the only choice is to rezone or change the criteria for that zoning. So instead of 4-story, they can go slightly higher. So you can service the demand, because at this stage, there's a lot of people, as DIY people already know, it's fairly dense and it's very hard to find land where they can build high rises anymore. So throughout all Coleroy, Narrabeen as well, all the shop top housing, now you can basically knock that down and build a 4-story building. Yeah. So those things are getting on track as well, and now they made it even more easier to do something like that. And with that, again, I think concern comes what about transport. But not sure if you've seen the news today. There's been new double-decker buses rolling around Pittwater Road. Not sure if anyone has seen. It's blue this time, and they're testing them out on the streets.
Interesting.
Yeah,
very interesting.
Yeah. So.
But I think in summary, we're going to try and wrap this up under 10 minutes for you tonight, guys. The biggest change I think we're going to see is confidence back to the market. With the election out of the way, we've got a new government set for 4 years. I think interest rates are going to be coming down at the next RBA meeting, and the big 4 banks are saying there could be as many as 3 cuts, taking that cash rate from 4.1% down to sort of the mid 3%. So that's going to put borrowing capacity back in people's pockets. For every 1% change in the cash rate, it's 10% more borrowing capacity. So that makes a massive difference, particularly on a $1 million loan. The average apartment cost these days, it's $100,000. So there's a big swing there, and generally, where interest rates go down, prices go up, because that borrowing capacity turns into spending power.
Definitely. And I can see that confidence already kicking in, because I think in the last 2-3 days, we had 4 or 5 exchanges just in our agency, right? And today, talking to, I think, 2 or 3 different buyers who are investors as well, they pretty much called me saying, okay, what do we have? I want to buy right now because I know interest rates coming down. So they have that confidence.
Yeah, it's interesting.
So, people are definitely confident out there and looking to buy. And I think it should have that good change, like just something a bit more stable now, and you're getting everything nice and easy rather than getting tough. What's going to happen?
There you go. My punt for the next 12 months is that I do believe that strata title units are going to do about a 5% growth rate.
Big time. I totally agree. Totally agree.
Yep. And the apartments that we're transacting the most at the moment, price point wise, is anywhere between that $1 million to say 1.3, 1.4.
Very much. I think
that's probably where the hottest buyer competition is.
Totally agree.
There you go.
All right, cool. That's about it. But yeah, we're always here. If you need any help, give us a call. If you need us to walk you through the process, and that's about it. Let's wrap it up.
Thanks, Bids.
Cheers.
Have a good night.
Bye.